Hey everybody. So today I am going to be showing off showing off a little bit of Age of Wonders 4. Um, I am very, very, very excited for this game. I have been playing Age of Wonders since Age of Wonders 1 in 1999. I can still remember going to Best Buy, seeing the box. Yes, you did used to buy PC games in a box at a store, um, and I just saw the box and had the little dragon around the Age of Wonders, and I was sold. That was it. Um, Much bigger fan of Age of Wonders 1 and 2 than 3. 3, um, eh, to put it mildly, it felt more Paradox than Triumph. Um, and being an old school fan, I really enjoy the Triumph Studios and everything they do with this series. And this game feels much more like Triumph material than Paradox. It feels like Triumph with, Paradox level production, as well as, some increasing depth of mechanics that Paradox does, but not overwhelming. I feel like Age of Wonders 3 is a little bit overwhelming. So anyway, that's my little rant on the game. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm
Choose
gonna
your
play
destination.
a story mode, and I have heard um, from other individuals that I've listened to on this game that actually the best place to start is the story realm 1, not the beginner scenario. So I guess let me explain this real quick. There are different realms. There are pre-made realms, right? As you can see, Fabless Fields, Astral Desert, so Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 realms. These are just realms you can just play and have fun, I believe. And then here's the 2 stories that you can follow, and this is the beginner scenario. And then you can make a custom realm, so you can create your own realm, up to 9 players, choose the difficulty, all this type of stuff. Pick what type of realm it is. There is just endless
Choose your
customization.
destination.
However, to start, I feel like just a pre-made scenario is probably best for myself and for you guys. So we're gonna go with the Valley of Wonders. Actually, before that, because I did play this before doing this, let's go to reset help messages, because that is going to kick off all the tutorials and advice while we're playing. And that's, I will say, from what I played, there are a lot of tutorials and advice.
Choose your
So
destination.
we're going to click Rise of the Godir, select. We're going to go difficulty easy, just to show it off.
Here,
Select next.
you have the unique ability to create your empire and the people living in it.
Okay, so and then it says whether they are deep dwarves, mystic elves, or barbarian halflings. They all make excellent followers. As your empire grows, you acquire new tomes of magic, allowing you to evolve your people into the direction you want, be it angelic beings, undead, or other transcendent forms. This Age of Wonders will be yours. So, all right, it is just flipping through some of the forms and all that. So here's Eric Rex. He's pretty neat. That was I'm not trying to brag or anything. This is just like a pre-order bonus. So if you do not pre-order the game, you can't get this guy. So just a heads up there. I feel like Alfred Elderstone. I believe if you watch one of the trailers, like there's some wizard queen, and it's like he's there and like telling her to back off, and she basically evaporates him into nothingness. And I feel like for the first time playing, you see there's all these different types of characters here. The ones that are grayed out, by the way, those are wizard kings or queens. Those are not champions. So there are champions. And the champions are more like helping your society focused. Whereas like income, experience, all that. Whereas the wizard kings really excel in the spells. So I think mana generation, spell points, things like that. They can cast more spells. Myself, I don't know about you, but I will probably almost always go champion. However, before I go any further, just a few notes. Just because it kind of warms my cockles, is that so the House of Eniac was, so the first Age of Wonders was basically good versus evil, dark elves versus light elves, high elves, whatever you want to call them. In Age of Wonders 1, I think they were just elves. So it was elves, wood elves, and dark elves. So that's what it was. So she is like a descendant of Eniac, who was the first elf in the Valley of Wonders. So anyway, there's that. Yaka was he was the leader of the Azracs, which was a race of nomadic desert people. You also have Fangir. He was the leader of the dwarves. This is a dark elf, but that is in Saldur. That is not. I forget the name of the character from Age of Wonders 1 that was the main antagonist, but it was basically, he was the brother of the protagonist that you were playing. Arctica, she was a main hero for the Frostlings, and then Carissa the Red, and possibly Necron the Risen, but I know Carissa the Red. Carissa the Red used to lead the orcs, which I always thought was odd, but what's cool is that you can see they call them enthralled orcs, which I just love, man. I love it. I love the role playing. I love the callback to the old games. It's just so cool. Also, a lot of the music in this game is old music from Age of Wonders 1 and 2. Like I said, I think 3 kind of went off on its own. Obviously, you guys know my feelings on it by now, but this game, I think it just hit the nail on the head. It's awesome. So we're gonna go with Alfred because I just want to play regular humans. Now, there are so many different combinations you can choose with a faction. As you can see, each champion or wizard king starts out with a tome. So Alfred's is the Tome of Faith, so it's order affinity. These are some of the researches he can do, these are some of the researches he can do. Here's some of the effects he can get. There's a building he can create. It's unbelievable the amount of stuff here. You can see he's a human. Fast recuperation is super nice. Regenerate, so you regenerate plus 5 more hit points on the world map, so that means at the end of your turn, all of your units, heroes and units, gain 5 more hit points after every end turn, which is huge in this game. Adaptable, so every fight, your units gain 30% more experience than other units. He's also feudal, which you get food at a higher rate. I don't know why I had such a hard time spitting that out, but anyway, so and that is a resource that you will use, is food. You also get the stand together trait, which so any of your units that are next to each other in combat get stand together, so they deal 20% more damage. Depends on your playstyle. That could either be really good or really bad. If you play ranged, that's probably not great, but if you're playing heavy cavalry, foot soldiers, hero play, that's pretty good. And the feudal lord, you get 5 heroes, 5 hero skills. So you get the Lord of War, Lord of Crops, Lord of Knowledge, Lord of Magic, Lord of Production. We'll get more into that as Alfred levels up and I can show you. So I've been rambling on for quite a while. Let's get on with it.
It was the time when the raw forces of magic returned to Athla. The seal that had protected the world was shattered. The cosmic currents thereby unleashed shaped the land, changing what was, whilst returning what once may have been. In the wake of this new genesis, the great empires of the Third Age fell into decline, bringing on an era of re-exploration and expansion. Alas, the time for peaceful discovery was brief, for the ancient wizards of the Second Age broke free from their eldritch prisons in the depths of the astral sea. Their strength regained, they set out to rule over the surviving peoples as God Kings, or Godir. There was little divine about them. Yaka, Nimue, Carissa, a pantheon of pretender gods. They were scarred, corrupted, haunted by millennia of torment, and ready to unleash their newfound powers against whoever dared stand in their way. Yet the wizard kings were not unchallenged. Mortal champions rose to the defense of their people, rebuilding their realms and learning to channel the currents of magic. This is the story of one such champion. While traveling through the Valley of Wonders in search of a new home, tragedy befell his tribe, its elder slain by a magical being. After inheriting both the elder's throne and his powerful tome of magic, the young champion had to rise up and protect his people from the dangers that awaited.
All right. Alfred Elderstone, a new ruler emerges. Explore your surrounding and expand your domain. I'm supposed to say surroundings. Prepare to face your rivals and become the master of this realm. Your choices will shape the new Age of Wonders. All right, so we start with the Tome of Faith. We already went over all of our... Well, actually, so we have Chosen Uniters. So we get 20% more income from vassals. We also have plus 10 to good alignment. Our shield and polearm units get plus 1 rank when recruited. And we also start with diplomatic focus as well as either an extra shield or polearm unit, just random. And then great builders. So our quarries are going to give us more gold, which we'll get into. And our special province improvements cost minus 50, I think, production. Which we'll also get into, but that's actually pretty good. And the castle, our capital city, also starts with a workshop and stone walls. Stone walls is very nice, and the workshop is nice as well. What's really awesome about the tooltips in this game is just like it can basically tell you anything. Now, I will say, having played this, I got very frustrated because it does not tell you everything. So there's some things you're just going to have to like click around and learn on your own. But almost everything you need to know, you can just hover over and it'll tell you. You're like, oh, what's stand together? You hover over it and it tells you. What's feudal lords? You hover over it and it tells you. It's really, really nice. Really new player friendly, which I hate keeping harping on it, but I feel like especially Age of Wonders 3 was lacking. Now, I will say Age of Wonders 1 and 2, also not the greatest, but they were also obviously more basic. So Age of Wonders 3 was, much more, I would say, complex without really being able to help the individual playing really understand what was going on. So anyway, I digress. Okay, so at the start of your first turn, right, when you first enter this realm, you're going to get a magic to choose from your current tome. You hover over it. It's Wrath of the Faithful. It says it's a skill level 2. It's a combat spell, and it's it does spirit damage +5, blah blah blah. Okay, or you could do Call to Glory, which is a buff spell. All right, and then as you gain ranks and more tomes, you'll go from 2 to 3 choices. Plus, you might have summoning spells in here. You might have transformations in here, which literally can transform your troops from one type to another, or like give them additional bonuses. So like there was one I used. It was called Super Growth, and so you had less units. So every one of your units has a certain number of units in there. So like your pole arms, I think, have like 6 or 8. So what it does is they literally grow larger, but there's less of them. It's pretty cool. Obviously the larger they are, they do more damage. That's the idea. Anyway, this one, I mean, you gain 5 morale. Morale is okay. If it's super high, it increases your critical hit chance. But I personally always like the direct damage spell. So we're gonna go Wrath of the Faithful. Oh, never mind. We get that right off the bat. That's right. Okay. So, A New Dawn battle quest. We have to slay 3 units, and we have to build a farm. Long have the Destined humans wandered Athla as exiles. O King Alfred Elderstone, by leading them to this valley, you have returned them to their hope. The proud city of Crosswall represents a new beginning for your people. They are eager to stride beyond the city gates and claim the surrounding land as their own. To expand your domain, hunt down the creatures near Crosswall and grow new population to place your first farm. And then under this, these are going to be your rewards. So we're going to gain city stability and a mystery bonus, which is cool. And this is one of the coolest things of all. Not only is it a sweet pop-up that like covers the screen and it's cool because it's like your leader, and whatever your leader looks like, that's what's going to pop up, not just some generic human or orc or whatever you pick. But check this out, up in the top left. It shows you where you need to complete that quest. I just think that's really, really, really cool. Because games like this, it can get overwhelming, right? So that's cool. Let this journey of us destined humans begin.
A new age of wonders dawns.
Oh, I thought she was going to keep talking. Allow me to lend some aid, O King. During play, messages like this will provide advice, blah, blah, blah. Click on the question mark button right here on the bottom right to open additional advice, or if you want to reread any advice. The advice history is in the same menu by pressing the select button. You can disable and reset, as you saw I reset, these messages in the settings menu. So, like, if you play and then you put it down for a week or two and then you come back, you can just reset the messages and you can relearn everything now.
Take some time to look around and familiarize yourself with your new surroundings.
So this is the one negative, so we're going to do moving the camera. Alright, rotate the camera with the... Hold the middle mouse, my bad. Hold the middle mouse, there we go. Okay. Okay, there we are.
You can take a closer look at the land by zooming in.
Let's zoom in on...
Or get a better overview of the world by zooming out.
Yikes.
Zoom out far enough to reach the overview map.
There we go. Alright, and here's the overview.
You have reached the overview map. As you explore the world, you will have many threats and opportunities to consider. Use this to inform your strategies.
Alright, so, what's really cool about this overview map is you just hover over stuff and it tells you what it is. So, there's a gold vein here, there's an iron deposit here, gold vein, Galleon wreckage, all sorts of stuff. So, it's always good to kind of zoom out to make sure you're going in the direction you want to be going. If there's something you really want, if you want gold, if you want production, right, it's all there.
You have selected an army. Armies are the core of your military strength. They can explore the world, attack your foes, and defend your lands.
The banners above each army shows what faction they belong to. As you can see, we have these, I think they're griffin heads. And the panel at the bottom of your screen gives more information. So here is this is our scout. It says scout unit right there. And if you want, you could right click on it and then you can just turn it. Just the fact that we get a zoom in like this on every single unit, I think is amazing. It also tells you when you right click, it'll give you a bigger screen to look at, bigger UI to make it easier to see, okay, what does this unit do? So you can make decisions, which I really like.
An army is made up of individual units. You can see a unit's tier, unit role,
Right there.
and movement points in the army panel.
So the unit tier is right there. Do you see the Roman numeral I? It's tier 1.
Your armies can move a limited distance every turn. The distance they can move depends on the terrain they traverse.
Yes. Okay. Whenever an army moves onto a hex occupied by an enemy army, it initiates combat. Nearby enemies on both sides can reinforce the battle. So,
You are about to begin exploring your surroundings. While the wide world holds plenty of things to find, two of the most valuable places you can come across are free cities and ancient wonders.
yeah. So, what I was going to say is if you have more than 6 units and you want to go fight something that's strong, you can always take more units and put it in the next hex over. You see, it's a hex-based game, and then that way you will have reinforcements for that battle. All right, so our objectives here are discover an ancient wonder and discover a friendly free city. All right, so all that being said, we're gonna take one turn, and then I'm gonna call it there because I am very, very, very tired. I don't think. Can we? Yeah. So you see here. So I want to get this galleon wreckage, right? I right click, and it even pops up. You must research seafaring from the Empire skill tree to move armies across water. I'll go more into the UI next time, just because I want to get a battle in. But the Empire development tree is right there, and we don't have any Imperium yet, so we can't click on it. There are. Well, here. I'll just go from top left over, okay? This is the amount of knowledge we have. That helps in researching spells, etc. Imperium, we'll get more into this later. Whispering stones, these are stones that can be given to other factions to help increase relations. It's basically like the Palantir from Lord of the Rings. That's kind of what this is, which I really like being a Tolkien fan. This also tells you how many cities you can have. So right now we can have, every single race starts with a base cap of 3 cities. You can have 3 cities before you start incurring penalties. There are ways to increase this cap. We're probably not gonna have to worry about that this game. Here's your gold, your mana. You see we're having positive 91 and positive 20, so we're increasing income on both of those. We have 30 world map casting points, which means there are spells in here.
This is your spell list. You can cast various spells from here to bolster your units and cities, or to smite your enemies.
Right, and then, so what I was going to say, there are 2 kinds of spells. Strategic spells, right here, can only be cast on the world map, so like on the campaign map, while tactical spells are cast during combat. Some spells, such as summons or enchantments, are sustained, which means they cost spell upkeep. What is spell upkeep? Spell upkeep just means every single turn they're going to be taking mana. So if you have a high mana generation, right, if you have a high mana income, you can have more enchantments on your units. You can have more summoned units. So mana is definitely important. So if you see here, this is the spell button. So you would click on that, and then you could just see your active spells that are running, right? In case you want to. So here there would be a spell, and you could like dispel it to stop costing you mana income. Here's your world map spells, and then this would be your battle spells. So right now we have 2 battle spells. We do not have any campaign map spells. So strategic is campaign map, tactical is combat. That's it for that. You can see over here, we'll get into these buttons next time, and we'll get into these next time. But you can see over here, they just have handy reminders of, hey, you still have orders you need to give for your armies. We're gonna move our scout first though, because we're gonna fight this troll real quick. All right, let's go to. We're gonna take our scout to the iron deposit.
You have encountered a resource node. They provide additional yield to the province they are located in. Nodes are often occupied by marauders. To claim the node and its benefits, these guards will need to be removed first.
All right, so and then it says here, not all neutral armies are the same. An armor bearing the tower banner represents a free city. A black banner with a skull signifies a marauder guard, right? So this guy's guarding this. The red banner with a skull is an army belonging to an infestation. Those are problems. So it's basically like, think of it like a giant recruiting ground for neutral baddies. And if you don't stop it, they'll just keep getting more and more and more powerful. So, all right, scout. I could swear that visiting those gave resources, but I guess I was wrong. All right, can I fight you? Yes, I can.
You're about to enter combat. Inspect all participants and their combined strength before deciding if you want to fight manually or have your army automatically fight the battle.
So, auto-resolve versus manually fighting. First battle of the campaign, let's manual combat. Alright.
Welcome to the field of battle. Here, you must kill or rout your foes.
Right, yeah. Okay, so Q and E rotate the map like this, or the camera, and ASW D, just, you know, basic keyboard mechanics there. All right.
You have selected a unit. It has 3 action points to spend on
here.
moving and using abilities.
All right, so it will tell you, which is really cool, it will tell you how many action points you're going to have, which is important, especially for ranged units, because as you can see, they need it. The more action points they have, the more times they can fire their projectiles, which is really cool. So that's a neat little thing to have. And so what we're gonna do first, is
this is a polearm unit, a frontline melee fighter. With its first strike and charge resistance abilities, it is perfectly suited for absorbing enemy melee attacks.
Yeah, pretty obvious, but again, that's for anybody who's, you know, never really played a game like this. All right, so we're going up against the river troll, the piglets, and the spider hatchlings, vampire spider hatchlings, and Gortusk piglets, not just any regular piglets.
This is a shield unit, a frontline melee fighter.
So this is
when entering defense mode, it grants a bonus to adjacent allies, protecting them against physical attacks.
So you want your shield units right in the thick of all of your other melee units. So we'll put it there.
You have selected your ruler. Your ruler is a powerful combatant who can wield magical equipment and learn a variety of skills.
Yep, so just like they said, rulers are super powerful units, always have been.
This is a support unit, which can use magical abilities to heal and strengthen its allies.
Alright, so we have a bannerman. When he hits defense mode, he gives all units +2 resistance and +2 defense and immune to flanking. He can also give bolstered defense and bolstered resistance to our units, as well as he can give them temporary hit points and morale. So it's a very useful, strong unit. We'll put them there.
This is a ranged unit, which excels at dealing physical damage.
Yeah, okay. So archers are archers. That's basically what it said. Now, we don't want to sit here as the archer, okay? Because they've got obscuring foliage. However, we also don't want to go behind our melee units because they're going to get in the way of us firing our arrows. Now, I think a lot of bad spots for the archer. Alright, we're just going to try it. We just keep him there. And then we're just going to go defense mode with every single unit. Here, watch this. Check this out. Shield wall. Look at that. He buffs all those units. Alright, let's see what the trolls got. Oh, and turn.
Your spells are now ready to be cast.
Alright, cool.
Spells can have a variety of powerful effects and can turn the tide of battle when used properly.
Alright, so we have 2 spells here on our right hand side. We have the Call to Glory, which becomes strengthened, 10% damage. Or we just have our good old 10 spirit damage plus 5 spirit damage per each friendly faithful unit in battle. I believe, are we all faithful? Can't rightly tell. What is this? I don't think they're faithful yet, but it still does 10 points damage. And my guess is, because these guys, I don't think they do a ton of damage. So we may, yeah, let's do this. Wrath of the Faithful. Let's hit the spiders. Or piglets, I'm sorry. Piglets. Alright. Okay, we're just gonna charge.
Your unit is within an enemy's zone of control.
Okay.
When a unit...
So you select and then you right click. That is combat in Age of Wonders. Alright, now. Okay, so the troll is out of range.
A unit just got hit by a retaliation. This happens when a melee unit is struck from within its zone.
So we hit it hit us back. Pretty basic stuff, but just in case anybody was wondering. Alright, we can't hit that troll. Let's move these guys here. Move archers
This unit
here.
has a ranged ability selected.
Alright, so here's the accuracy.
Ranged abilities have an accuracy rating, which is the chance that the ability will hit the intended target.
It says if an ability misses, it will either strike another target or do nothing at all. Some abilities can also graze, meaning that the ability affecting the target is reduced in strength. Alright, so let's see. Okay, we have a 90% shot to hit. Let's fire. Alright, nice. Nice. We will... Let's put our bannerman here. He's giving the stand together trait, and then we're going to do melee strike here. We want to take out this troll if we can as quickly as possible. Bannerman. Yes, we're going to put you in defense mode to boost the units, and then we are going to do a charge strike with our lord, hero, whatever we want to call him. Oh, probably. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright. So let's use our soothing standard. There we go. So what you do is you select it, then you right click, and that's how that works. Just to let you know. Alright, let's see that. Alright. He's got a 50-50 shot of hitting our guy. See, that's why. That is much more punishing than in old Age of Wonders, I will say that. He's got 100% shot from there. 70, 100. I know you're not supposed to get that close, like, because you're supposed to keep them safe, but I really want to kill this troll.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Let's kill the troll. Nice. Alright, and now... Alright, I'm killing the piglets.
Uh-huh.
As you can see, we got a morale bonus for doing that. And... Wrath of the Faithful.
Huh?
Alright, we're gonna have attack with the pike. Excellent. Turn. Pikemen get first strike, so that's why when they're attacking, the pikeman is actually hitting first. Alright, and yeah, there we go. Just take Alfred, stab the spiders.
This unit has suffered
Beautiful.
casualties. Casualties occur when a unit
Pikeman
takes
unit right
damage,
here.
which also causes the unit to deal less damage with its attacks.
Yeah, so if you have a non-single entity unit, it can lose troops within that unit, and then they do less damage overall. You see these little medals? These are their rank. So we have bronze, bronze. I think, might be bronze as well, but anyway, that's awesome. Okay, a glorious victory, O King. You have beaten an army in combat, rewarding you with loot and your surviving units with experience. The more experience they get, the stronger your armies become. Very cool. Alright, well that is where I'm going to call it, because one, I am completely exhausted, but two, this game has a ton of depth, and you know, we will keep playing this campaign, and then hopefully we can get into a new campaign where I can show off the creation of your own race, your own people. It's really cool, but I also kind of like the pre-made races. They seem, you know, they're mostly pretty tropey, but I like that. I like the old fantasy tropes and all that. So anyway, you guys have a nice day, night, evening, whatever it may be, and I will catch y'all later. All right, bye.